Hello everyone, it's me here, General Auditing here. I'm back even after such a long time since I was busy with work, so many stuff, and I missed you guys a lot. So today I'm gonna build a project with all of you guys. It's an AI-based project. So today we're gonna build a RAG-based solution with our own data using Azure AI Foundry. So what is this RAG? Where it came from? Where RAG is actually came from the language models. What is the language models? It's nothing but the smartest thing. It was trained on lots of data like text data, for example, websites, articles, books and journals, so many internet sources. So it knows a lot of things. So it can answer your questions and generate content based on what it has learned from those data that you trained it on. So let's say, for example, we ask the model, like, what is the capital of France? It will say the capital of France is Paris because it was trained on those data. So it knows a lot of things. But sometimes the answers provided by this model are not accurate or up to date that we want the answers to be. Sometimes the answers are quite relevant to what we expect it to be. So those kind of problems that we face here is unrounded problems. What is unrounded responses? Well, unrounded responses are answers that sounds good but aren't tied to specific facts. Like it's an answers which are quite good self but not accurate or real world fact. Like it hallucinates from the correct answers. And why does this happen? Because it was trained on lots of data, but not the current or specific information that we want it to answer. And the responses might not be accurate. And also it's not relevant to what you need. For example, let's say you ask the model, like, what is the latest laptop available with such gaming features, like features with high GPU in like NVIDIA processors. The laptop may answer with a laptop with cool features, but that laptop doesn't even exist. Like it will provide you with a laptop name, but you don't even know that laptop exists or not. So that's the ungrounded response that we are facing here. And how can we fix that? Well, we can fix that by grounding the model. How can we ground the model? Well, we can ground it by adding a product catalog or text. Like for example, I want to know what happened at the end of World War II. So I will ground the model. So I will provide the model with my textbook, which contains details about World War II and so many histories, and it will then generate me what happened at the end of World War II based on that textbook that I provided with. So the answer will be then accurate and the relevant answer that we wanted it to answer. And also that's real data, not a guesswork. Now there are more examples that you can look up to, like, for example, we ask the model, like, what is the latest model with fancy features? And the model will, under the model will answer you in such a way that the phone that it says doesn't even exist, but the grounded model will recommend the actual phone that actually exists and from the catalog that we provided it with. Also, we have already discussed this example, like for example, what happened at the World War II, we provided with a history textbook, and the ungrounded response will make the key details, but if we provide the textbook, the model will respond accurately. And there is also another example, like for example, we want to cook something, so we ground the model with what contains ingredients available on our fridge. So the model will answer you according to the meals available on your fridge. But if we don't ground the model will actually answer in such a way that you don't have those ingredients. It will answer in such a way that those ingredients are actually available. Also, why grounding matters? Because it doesn't provide hallucination answers. It answers accurately, and it also responds in a relevant, not in inaccurate answers. So it's a real world facts. Now let's discuss about RAG. What is RAG? So let me just share you my note. I hope you can see my screen right now. All right. So let's just. So what is this RAG that we're talking about? I think it's not working. Let me just share the screen right now. I hope you can see my screen. So what what is this RAG? So RAG is a way to make your language model smarter by helping it to find the right information. Like think of it like instead of model just answering from what it already knows, RAG lets you look up facts, like when we provide it with the file that we want, RAG looks at that file that we provided with and it will answer based on that file that we already have provided that contains accurate answers, like a librarian. When you ask a librarian to find a right book for you, the librarian will look up the right for the right book, and it will answer you. It will show you the book that you need. So what is the full form of this RAG, or what it means? Let me just, well, R stands for retrieve. And so what we mean by retrieve, I hope my explain, I hope the spellings are correct. So what do we mean by retrieve? Well, when you ask RAG a question, like RAG searches for specific data sources like documents or databases to find information related to a question. Then what RAG does is after that, it augments. I hope you have learned augmentation on your math classes, like when you deal with matrices or any other. I think you have learned augmentation matrices. Like when you deal with matrix adds up another another matrices, then the augmentation occurs. So what augmentation does is it takes that info and adds it to a question, like to make it better and more informed prompt. Then based on that prompt, it generates. So the language model uses that improved prompts to give you the answer that's accurate. So you might have get the last word is generate. So it then generates based on the improved prompts, and that's accurate and quite what we wanted to answer. Pardon, it's my first time trying this out, so yep, it's retrieved. So first, when you ask for a question, it's not just specific data like document or database information related to your question, that it augments. It then takes that information and adds it to your question, makes it more better or more informed prompt. The language model uses that this input prompt to give an answer that's accurate and based on your fact. It's like giving a model a quick research session before it replies. So let's go to a slide here. So the challenge that the model faces here is they need to be provided with specific information to be truly helpful, like you have provided with the files or folders that you want that has accurate answers. A solution is grounding the models with the real world data to improve accuracy. So we ground the models with the data to improve the accuracy, and then that connects to the specific information for better search. Then also we have language models refreshers. So you might have noticed that language models are really awesome. Like it's trained on vast amounts of data, knows lots of information from its training. Then it also requires like specific data also for accurate answer. You have to provide it with accurate answer to for you have to provide it with specific data for it to answer accurately. Then this is RAG that we have discussed previously. I will share you the slide. You can look up this slide and learn more about it. So without grounding the data, it will hallucinate, also make the facts that we have learned. That's the ungrounding problems. And it also rely on general information from data. Yes, it will also replace general information. It also rely on general knowledge from the general data. Then also RAG connects model to specific current information or sources. And it also ensures that answers are accurate and relevant to your need. And also there are so many examples, like we can use RAG on customer service chatbot. Without RAG, sometimes when we need a warranty information about a certain product, without RAG, the model will just guess warranty information and it hallucinates. But with RAG, it will provide exact warranty details. Like for example, if it's 2-year warranty, it will provide the details with 2-year warranty from the company documents. Also, school helper board, we can also build a school helper board. For example, without RAG, the bot will provide it with answer that's quite vague timing, but with RAG, it will state exactly. For example, I have quizzes next day. It will provide me that if I have quizzes next day or not. Like if I have any exams next month, it will provide me details about the next month. Like if I have exams or not, it will look up for the facts from my academic file that I provided with calendar file. Then it will open up the answer one. Also, suppose we have a problem that is like, for example, I have a headache problem. I will ask ChatGPT to give me an advice. It will provide me advice like for generic advice, but not the accurate advice that we needed. But if we provide it with the medical databases, it will exactly help me with specific remedies that I need for my headache. So how the RAG works in Azure AI Foundry? So how that works in Azure AI Foundry? Well, Azure AI Foundry is a tool that lets you build your own chatbots using language models. Like you can build your own chatbot or agents using the language models available on Azure AI Foundry. The best part is you can add your own data to ground them with web. So you can also add your own files or folders. So how it works is you can connect to places like where your data lives, like Azure Blob Storage. You can also add your data to Azure Blob Storage, a cloud storage, cloud spot for files. In that way, you don't have to, it will not fill up your storage from your PC or laptop. And there's also Azure Data Lake, our big storage system where you can also store lots of data. Or you can also upload your own files or PDF or Word document. It's really flexible. So you have lots of options available here, Azure Foundry. And if you're making a chatbot, let's say for example for your class, we will provide the bot with your own syllabus. So the bot will answer. So suppose you want to say what's tomorrow's due. The bot will answer that you have math quiz tomorrow based on the syllabus that you have trained it on. So you giving your chatbot a backpack full of your own notes and references in Azure AI Foundry. And why that is so cool? Because it's just provides you with real world facts or hallucinations from the real right answers. And it provides the exact answer that you need, not any or hallucinate from answers. And it's actually the correct answers and it's the latest answers that you have already provided with. So make sure to provide the latest information, not inaccurate information, or else bot will provide you with the answer that you don't really need. And it's really easy to use, simple to set up. We will check that out after some time. Also, why do we need searchable data? Like for example, we are looking for a specific book on a library, and with librarian you can easily find the book by telling the librarian that this well where is this book? The librarian will help you to search for the book. So you can see that the librarian helps us to search the specific book that we needed in the library, and it will also quick to access your information on the language models, so you can get accurate answers. Also, quick access to your answers. So now let's discuss about what is Azure AI Search and how can we use it here. Azure AI tool is a tool that organizes our data so it's easy to search. Think of it like a library catalog system. But all your files, documents, or whatever data you have, when you build an AI app with Azure AI Foundry, this tool helps you build your language model to find the right information to answer your questions. So basically, if you provide it with the data like PDF or text files to Azure AI Search, it creates an index, a fancy word for searchable catalog. And when you ask a question, the language model searches its index to find the best answers. So you can see that here it is short oriented details. So what is this vector index and embeddings? Okay, let's talk about vector index. It's super smart way to search data, and it's a way. It's more than just looking for exact words. To understand it, we need to talk about embeddings first. So an embedding is like a secret code made of numbers for a bit. So that represents the meaning of words or sentence. Imagine two sentences. I can just show you in my notebook. Let's check the page here. So let's say we have two sentences. Talks. I'm going to stage note. And just I need to. Let's say we have a sentence like that. At the noon. It's just a made up sentence, so you can think of it any way you want. Then we have another sentence. Copies. Sorry, I'm new to this notebook thing, so it will give me some time to adjust to it. Copies all down. What's this? So you can see that both of this sound really similar, right? Right? So this sentences contain different words but mean the same thing. And embedding turns them into a number code, like for example 0, 1, and any number it converts it to. Then this what it does is it puts the similar ideas next to each other like a map. Like it will make that at the one word or a number, then it will categorize into this one another number like two, and we categorize or another number like three, four, and so etc. So I have it like this way. And copies are also categorized in another numbers. Or so it just divides those words into embeddings. Then after that, it will check if the meaning is the same or not. Like both of this sound similar or not. The closer the code set, the more similar the meanings are. This is done using an AI tool like Azure OpenAI embedding model. We will use the later in Azure AI Foundry, so make sure to see to the end. Let me just put back to the slide again. So how to make an search index? Well, we just upload files to Azure AI Foundry, then deploy an Azure AI Search to organize your data, like adding vector codes for meaning-based searches. Also, then we just save it at the index, and it lives in the Azure AI Search, like Azure AI Search organize the files or sentences from the file that we provided with, and it's ready for the language to use. Then we can use the language on the playground or our deployed app model. Also, there are different ways so that we can search. One is keyword search. So what does this keyword search do? Well, it actually finds the exact word that you type. Let's say you are searching for cat and it finds the document and the word cat in the documents. And it's really good for finding specific things like a product name or any other name you want to look up on the doc. Like for example, I want to search for the word dogs in my book. So I will look up the book and see the similar word available on that book, like dogs, how many word, how many letters on the book contains the word dog. Then semantic search. So what the semantic search does, well, it actually understands the meaning of your question. For example, you ask what's the furry pet? Furry pet. And it finds a cat, even if furry pet isn't written, it actually finds a cat then because it understands the meaning of your question. That answer you based on the by matching your ideas, not just the words, like keyword search does. Vector search, what the vector search does, it uses the vector codes to find similar meanings. You ask what animals are cute, and it finds kittens and puppies because the meanings are close to cute. Similar to semantic search, we can also combine vector search and semantic search to provide us the best accurate answers. It's actually called the hybrid search here, the fourth one. So let's say, for example, vector. Let me give you an example of vector search. For example, we want to find related stuff. Even if the words are different, the vector search will help us to find that stuff. And what hybrid search does is it mixes keyword search and vector search or semantic search. Then for the best result, then it finds the result based on the search. So you ask, like for example, you ask what is the best laptop for gaming, and it finds matches like gamer pro laptop or similar ideas for gaming that has higher performance computers, but it's actually good for searching super accurate and relevant answers. So we can also look this up on the Azure AI Foundry. So let me just open my Azure portal. Now let's go to the lab. It's enough of our discussion right now, theory discussion. Let's go straight to a lab and build or rack this solution right now. Also, I will share you the slides here. There are lots of details I have put together, so you can just look up in the slides and read it on your own. I will just support that to Azure portal and help you deploy your own Azure put so to Azure portal. You can see right here in Azure portal here. Now, what we have to do, we have to go to Azure AI Foundry. Let's search for Azure AI Foundry. So we're gonna first go to Management Center and go to all resources available here. You can see that all the resources that I have previously worked on, AI Foundry and how. But today we're gonna create. First, we have to create a new hub. Also, make sure to go to this Azure Management Center, all resources. I will provide the link so that you can go through this, go to that link and also do this exercise along with Nest. So let's just first create Azure AI hub resource. Click on next. We're gonna create a new hub here, not the old one. Add those options. We have Azure for students. So this is the resource group that you have to keep in mind. But this is our resource group. Also, there are lots of available resources group here. Then we're selecting your region is choose two. You can also select other regions based on your preference. You can also select student resource group based on yourself. Then we're gonna click on create. Now we have to wait for Azure AI Foundry to set up for us. So let's wait for it to create and deploy our AI solution. So let's go up on next. Also, if you don't have Azure, like I'm using Azure for students because I am a student, you can also, if you're a university student, you can also get Azure. You can also get Azure for students, which will give you $100 credits. It's also good for me because I can also create Azure resources here for free without incurring any charges here on my credit card. So let's show the model to be deployed. So as you can see, we have your project and our project was created successfully. So all we have to do is implement two solutions. Two models to implement the solution, an embedding model to deploy our text filter for efficient indexing and processing. Also a model that can generate natural language responses to our questions based on our data. So we are here in Azure AI Foundry. Now let's go to my asset here. You can see that here it is my asset. Now we're going to click on models plus pinpoint page. So here, you can create a new deployment, select on deploy these models. Then it will show us the models available. We have Sora O3, O4 mini, GPT image, lots of models available here. The web models we want to use right now. For this project, we can just use GPT-4 here. You can also use there are lots of models available. The latest update has added lots of models, lots of models available with Web3, Rock Mini, but we're gonna use GPT-4 model here. Let's select and confirm. Now you can see that here it shows us our deployment status. Deployment type is global standard. Also, there's a pay per API call with the highest rate limit. So there's a pay that you have to give on from your credits. Also, it will add upgrade once the new default version becomes available. Our default is set to P2. Our tokens per minute is set to, you can also set any other name if you want, but let's just keep it that way. 1000 per token. Select and deploy. I'm just using it for this project because it's fast right now. So, and also it will be there after end of this month. I guess GPT-4 will be retiring after this month. Then then all we have to do now is go to we talk about semantic so where and select on new data, click on upload files, select on files, folders. As you can see, we have already uploaded a folder here, brochures. You can upload any files you like, you just and we're gonna wait for it to be uploading. Click on next. We're gonna set the data name to brochures, folders, select on create, wait for creator, wait for it to be uploaded. And we can see that it's already uploaded now. Now let's go to our data plus indexes rule, select our indexes, create new index, select data sources. We're going to select on data in Azure AI Foundry, select on brochure, click on next. Now we're going to connect to either Azure AI Search resource. You can see that there's no resource available here, so we have to go to Azure portal, to create a resource. So what resource do we have to create? We have to create Azure AI Search. Click on create. Our research group is same as the one as this one. Select Google Create a resource name. Say how. Then you can select any other name you want. And set your research group and list US2. You can select any other region if you like. You can check on regions available based on your quota. Also, the payment we have to select basic because the standard model takes 249 per token. So we don't need standard for this. We just implement basic for this class. Click on next. Now we're going to review plus create a model, set those default features. We're going to wait for it to be deployed. Let's wait a couple of minutes for it to be deployed. And we can see our deployment is in progress. Azure AI Search, deployment of storage, and model is successfully deployed. Select a new index. Now we want to select our data from Azure data. Turn on your Foundry, select on virtual. Click next. Select services. We have already created an Azure AI service here. As you can see, I have created Azure AI Search service here. And this model is deployed here. Azure AI Search. So you can see the search service available here. Now we're gonna select this services. Then we're gonna name it as because sure. Index. Now select on next. Okay, we're gonna select the default version that's embedding default. JD002. Size of category, small, large, any embeddings you want to embed it on. Select on next. Let's create our data indexes. Now let's look for the Azure AI indexes or Azure Index Service. Index it in 3 steps. First, it's gonna create on chunk, then it's gonna create index. On the next step, then it will register those indexes in certain numbers or certain embedding forms. And you can see that our files are here now. It's in progress. So everyone searchable index it in 3 steps now. So let's wait a couple of minutes. As you can see, our data index has been created. Retrieve steps like walking on chunking, then creating Azure in search index that will turn into one index was the file according to the files. Now it's time to try out our model, how it's working. Let's go to the playground here on the left pane. Select on chat playground. Wait for it to load. As you can see, we're using GPT-4o model here. You can also give instruction context based on your needs. Now let's ask it a question. Where can I new always answer which type of task will you need? Football, state, now first let's try by ungrounding the data. We didn't ground the data yet, so it will respond based on the how it was trained on ChatGPT-4o. So first they're trying with the grounding the data. I think I have already ground the data, but let's try out without ungrounding the data, like how it responds without grounding the data. So let's unground our data. Think first we make the data source. And now let's say for Townhouse Day in New York, Castle Witch. So let's see how this works. As you can see, the GPT-4 model is opening with so many details. Some of these photos don't even exist. So it doesn't know which photo to suggest me. Now let's count the data and see how it answers the formula, how the web model performs. So let's count the data, select virtual index, then select semantic, the Google structure name of the files, then give us the answer. Now ask it the same question. Once you will have this to the chat session, I paste this or you can see we have already used 21 tokens out of this tokens. So it will cost you this much money. You can see the Manhattan Hotel is referencing to other files. Anyway, for sure that we have uploaded here, suggesting as hotel based on that. So you can see how easy it is to create a web model So easy, like you don't need to perform a lot of those tasks. Azure AI Foundry does that for you. Isn't it such a cool? So I hope you, by the end of this session, you will also create your own RAG model here. Also, I will share you the slide here. I will share you the slide here so that you can also learn some, more about RAG models. And also, if you want, I can also share you the exercise so that you can also try out different level. Also, you can deploy it in as a RAG 5 RAG model, or you can deploy it as an